Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of ECM Community Heroes as part of the communication series Power of Community. With Community Heroes, we meet some of the people that shape and push forward the community of European cities marketing, a community of open sharing, of learning, of meeting and growing together. This series is made in association with Group NAO, which is also where I'm from. My name is Sine Jongersted, and today I have the immense pleasure of speaking to Pablo Ortega Novillo, Catalan TIC Network Promotion Manager and Chair of the ECM Knowledge Group for Tourist Information Centers. So Pablo, thank you very much for being here today and share your work in the Knowledge Group.
Hi, happy to be here.
So let's start with, could you introduce us to the TIC Knowledge Group? How big is the group? How often do you meet? What kind of work do you do within the group?
Right. Well, the TIC Knowledge Group is a very special group because we don't have the same size every meeting we do. I mean, there's a bit different on how we work with our colleagues. There's actually a managing group of 7 members, a kind of decision-making group. But then all the activities we do are open for everybody who wants to join. So it means that we are not, we don't have this kind of applicants process to be part of the group. I mean, all the meetings we do, even in these autumn meetings or general assemblies, we all do our meetings open. Everybody can assist and participate. But of course, some core decisions are kept in this small group that I told before. It's 7 members. 8 right now because we have added a new one. There's Helsinki, Gothenburg, Bilbao, Sevilla, Ireland, Lviv, Catalonia, and the new member is Amsterdam.
Okay.
That just became part of the group just 2 days ago. So
welcome Amsterdam.
Welcome Amsterdam because well, this kind of group that we do different tasks along the year. We organize the main activities we do, but the main scope is to be open to everybody. I mean,
and so how many people usually come to the meetings?
For example, in our every 2 months we do an open meeting via Zoom. We select topic of conversation. We sometimes invite external participants, kind of university researchers, or some interesting TICs that they have nice experiences to share. And we can have 60, 70 participants in a single meeting. Or you never know, it depends. If it's high season in summertime, maybe there's only 30. It depends, it's completely fluctuant. But then, sorry.
You go.
And then our main event is the yearly TIC Experts meeting. And well, it's about an average of 70, 75 participants each edition. This one was a little bit less because it's the first one after the COVID. It was 54 participants, which is successful as well.
You just had that one in Girona.
In Girona, we had that one, yes.
Okay.
And it was really a success. Of course, we will talk about later if you want. But I mean, we don't have this fixed number of members. That's something very important for us. We are open to every TIC member that wants to join and participate.
Let's dive into the Girona meeting then, because I'm curious. It was just now. So you say you were about 40, 45 people, and
50.
so 54. Oh, sorry. And then what was on the agenda? What were you doing?
Well, the most important thing was to meet personally, physically again. We were engaged in this strategic decision that meetings could be possible again if you follow all the sanitary regulations, and it was a safe destination to go. And we are managing, and our daily job is to make the people to travel into our destination. So as soon as it was possible to travel again, we should be the first ones in demonstrating that it's possible. And we did. We didn't do a hybrid meeting. We didn't do a completely online meeting because it was, we decided we have to demonstrate that it's possible. And in the end, it was a good success. 54 participants is a very good number because the maximum we have had is 70, 75 in normal times. And it really was amazing because it was this kind of illusion in the air. The people wanted to meet again. Digital meetings, they provide a lot of benefits, but there's this extra sensorial part, this emotional part of the meetings that is not through through a camera or
Mm.
in the laptop screen. And this is actually the most important part of the physical meetings. So well, we are happy that and very proud to be the first ECM 100% presential meeting this year,
Nice.
and to provide example to our colleagues
Mm.
that next year's 2022 meetings can be, if COVID permits. We are aware that the numbers has increased, but it's possible.
And what were you discussing? Were you discussing the future of TICs post-COVID, or what was the topic of the meeting?
Well, we've been talking about COVID many times during the year, so we decided to change topic and just to put it away. And we were talking about uniqueness. I mean, all the TICs as part of the manager of destinations, we are always struggling and thinking about what can we do to be more attractive or what makes us special, because we are all sharing technologies, strategies, the main more or less way of doing things, but as well, each city has something special that even sometimes you don't know that you have it. In some places, there are visitors that you don't know why do they come, or maybe you invest a lot of money in promoting something, but then the visitors go to another place that you don't know. And we've been inviting different nice speakers, um, inspirational speakers, actually, to show us that it's possible to become unique and to find attractiveness from very different points of view. And we had two very special invited speakers. That was the one is from Chernobyl tours.
Okay,
They
wow.
came to Girona and they bring us a little bit of radiation with them as well.
Okay. All right.
So it was, we did a lot of jokes with them about that. Is that actually visiting Chernobyl is safe, completely safe. You can get twice more radiation while traveling 2 hours by plane, flying, rather than 12 hours visiting the nuclear power plant.
Okay.
And well, it was very interesting because imagine how can you use a nuclear disaster and transform it into a tourist attraction. But not only that, but you achieved to change the national mindset of the disaster, because Ukraine, since the Soviet period, was completely, it was a taboo topic. Neither the schools or the history books talked about it
Okay.
until the 90s. And in the 90s was, sorry, not the 90s, the last decade. And the managers, pioneers of this activity, they wanted to involve the local people in there. They invited as well the liquidators, so the people who sacrificed themselves into the first months in order to stop the nuclear power plant explosion, to say so, to say quickly. They invited them because they haven't been there since the end of the works. Those who survived, actually. So they have been doing so good work that now the Ukrainian government does scholarship excursions to the nuclear plant with them. And they do this kind of national memory tribute to this special moment in their history. The people is talking about that again, and the economy of the region has recovered a lot because there's a lot of families that they stayed in the surroundings that couldn't have find any jobs, and they started working in tourism. New tourism information centers were built, mobile, and they explained in a funny way how they did it. They started with a Soviet tank, a tank, a bulletproof tank, uh, and they bought it as second hand, and they
Okay.
started informing the visitors just from inside the tank and letting them visiting the area. Now they have vehicles and this kind of food trucks, but they don't give food, they give information.
Okay.
And all this. And there's a kind of economic dynamism in surrounding the area, and it involved the educational system. They involved a lot of communities surrounding the local handcraftship as well. Everything they sell is made in the area. So it's not just, how to say that, it's not a frivolity,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not dark tourism, it's changing the national mindset. And this is why we invited them, because this is something unique in the world. Nowhere else can do something like that. And
That's
then there's
great.
another one very, very special for us, that we connected live with the remotest place on the earth. It's
Okay.
a very, very tiny island in the Atlantic, in the southern Atlantic, in the halfway between Cape Town and Ushuaia, Argentina. There's only 250 inhabitants there.
Okay.
And it's a UK, it's a United Kingdom overseas area, and is the remote inhabited place of the Earth. And they do have a tourist information center.
They have a DIC. Okay, wow.
And they have it. So it
How
was a
many tourists do
surprise.
they have?
Oh, they have. I mean, more than inhabitants they can have, but it's complicated because they don't have any airport. They have only
Ah,
9 ships a year that
okay.
they stop over there. And of course, the local population has preference in buying the tickets for
Mm.
these ships, because usually they are merchant ships, not passenger ships. It's just to
Mhm.
provide supplies and this. And because they are the remotest place on the earth, it becomes something unique. And with
Mm.
that it could be really an obstacle to reach that place, they have transformed it into an attraction itself. So
Mhm.
you can say, you can go back home telling that you've been in the remotest place in the earth.
Okay.
And all the daily basis, how do they manage that? How do they organize? They don't have a lot of accommodation places, so sometimes the visitors can stay at local people's home.
Mhm.
Well, they showed us with the webcam the TIC. They do a live guided tour from there. It was, the people got excited.
That sounds
And
very exciting. Two fantastic speakers.
mm,
Wow.
we try to do this kind of inspirational, important content, and as well, we put a little bit of fun in our
Mhm.
meetings.
Yeah.
We like to do that this way.
I think that leads me to maybe a little bit of a personal question, because you seem very committed and very engaged into this work. So I'm wondering what has motivated your engagement in the knowledge group work.
When I started for the first time, the first meeting I was is in Amsterdam, 2015. I was already working in Catalonia. I'm working in the Catalan Tourism Network for TICs.
Mhm.
There are 250 tourism information centers. And from our position, we help them, we give them assessment. So we are used to work as a network.
Mhm.
It is a very hard work, but the benefits of that, when the things go well and the projects, they have success, the results are very even better than expected. So when I when I met first time ECM, I found that it was another upper level for that. Um, for me, it's essential for my work to find that there are other peers that they have the same problems that you find others that can share your experience with you, that they don't feel that you are a counterpart or a competence.
Mhm.
It's a completely friendship area. Mm, and there is an important emotional part in my engagement. For me, it's very important to feel that you are backed. Sometimes when you have problems, you just pick up the phone, or now you have this
Foreseen.
this nice tool, which is the online meetings. But
Mhm.
in a few minutes, you can get support from your colleagues,
Mhm.
and it helps a lot in your daily basis. And it's not just something professional, formal. The nice thing of that is you don't need to be formal, or you don't need to use formal channels. You don't need to write down a lot of emails. Sometimes you just need to call somebody and ask for help, and there's always someone there. And this kind of network, it's actually the most important part of me,
Mhm.
of my engagement in that case.
So, Pablo, what are you most excited about for 2022? The plans with the knowledge group. What's in the pipeline?
Well, the most important is to get back to normality, to find a way to go back to everything we have been doing for the last years, and recovering the meetings, to go back to the annual conference and do our group meeting there, as well as the autumn meeting. We hope that, well, of course, the TIC experts meeting is our most important event in the year. We have chosen Gothenburg to be
Mhm.
the next hosting city. So we go from the south to the north. And as well, we've found a new way of collaboration with external agents. We have been very lucky because in the recent times, we have found people who ask us to share something with our community. I mean, for the very first time, it's not us that we are knocking the door from someone else to ask, would you like to come to us and share your experience, blah, blah, blah. No, it's external people that just knocks on the door, and we have this project we think is very nice and interesting for you. Can we share it with you? Can you arrange a meeting for us with the rest of your members? And we say, of course. And this is surprising. This is a sign that we believe that we are doing things properly, because it's a symptom of success that the people wants to come to us to explain their experiences. So it's like an automatization. I think it's going alone, and we want to keep that way. I mean, to spread the word, to make know the academic collective, universities, research schools, tourism schools, hospitality schools, or other institutions that they want to share with us this knowledge, because in the same way, the knowledge group is providing this experience to all the members.
Right.
Open wide. I mean, everybody who wants to join can join. All the members of ECM can take part of these activities. So we are very proud of that, and we'll keep it that way.
So it will be even more activities in the coming year for everyone to join. Yeah. All right. And Pablo, and the final question, which I've asked all our community heroes, and that is, what do you understand by the power of community in the context of European cities marketing?
For me, to be short, is that 1 + 1 is not 2, is 3, or even more. The power of community is that if you work in a network, or if you work in team, you share with other colleagues, the benefits or results, they can be much better than working alone. And this COVID crisis is an example. We have been able to work together, and we have found a support network, not only professional, but in sometimes as well emotional, because this is not just a professional network. This is a colleagues network. In some cases, you can find some friends as well. And this is the power of community for me. It's not just business.
Right.
It's all the rest.
It's more than a network. It's a community. Yeah, very nice.
For me, yes.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Pablo, for sharing, and congratulations on your success in Girona. It sounds like a fantastic meeting you had. But thank you very much for joining me today and sharing your work.
Thank you for inviting me.